Boom, 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 boom. Now you got Justin Bieber stuck in my head, Vicky. So special happy birthday to Nicole and Allie. Hope you guys have had an awesome day. I don't know where Allie went. Where'd Allie go? She was on here. Now she might have disappeared, but that's okay. Anyways, happy birthday to you guys. Thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight. I'm going to pin myself. Get pinned. There we go. Awesome. So thank you guys all for joining me tonight for special call that I'm doing for all of my clients. We have some guests that joined us as well. A few of my clients earned the right to bring along some friends. So thank you guys so much for joining us, getting a little preview. Most of you have been in at least one of my training groups, even if you're not one of my clients. So welcome. Thank you so much for being with me. I wanted to do this call because I 100% believe that everything we do this year, everything we do, all of our success is 100% depending on how intentional we are. Success never, ever, ever happens on accident. It doesn't work like that. If it did, I mean, that would be really cool. But let's face it, there are no lottery winners in business. Sometimes we like to think that there are. Sometimes we look at people that are incredibly successful in this business and we think that somehow they won a lottery ticket or they got really lucky and got 1,000 people that just randomly messaged them because of nothing, but that's not how it works. You have to be intentional. And so I want to talk to you guys tonight about being intentional about the year of 2016 because it's the only way you're going to get the year that you really want. How many of you know on your health journey, if you want to lose weight, you want to get healthy, you want to get in shape, you got to be intentional, right? You absolutely have to map out time for your workout. You absolutely have to make time to drink your Shaco, which fortunately is like the easiest thing in the world to make time for. You stick it in a freaking blender and drink it, right? It's pretty easy. But you've got to make the time. You can't have excuses. Excuses don't get you success on your health journey, and excuses won't get you success on your business journey. You've got to be intentional, which means, number one, you've got to set goals, okay? So that's the first thing. We're going to have two things tonight. We're going to have first half of the call, I'm going to talk about setting goals. Second half of the call, I'm going to talk about how to become intentional about making up game plans to reach those goals, okay? So let's talk about goals. Common problems that people have when setting goals. How many of you have been reading 10X or listening to 10X? Come on, raise your hand. I know most of you have been. One of the biggest mistakes we make when setting goals is we set them too small. We set our goals way too small because we think that here's what almost everyone does. And I've, some of you tried to do this on calls with me and I had to stop you and make you rethink it. We go, well, let's see. I think I have this person on my team that could do this. I have this person that could possibly do this. I have this person that maybe, you know what? So I think my goal will be this. That's not a goal. When you look at what you have in your hands, the resources that you already have, and set a goal based on those things, you're not actually setting a goal. You're simply defining reality. Okay? If you are to take what has happened in the last year and assume that growth will continue in the exact same way it has, and that with these people you can make this happen or that happen or this happen, all you're doing is defining reality. Why do we need to take time out of our day in the month of January to sit down and define what reality is? Is anybody on this call struggling to live with reality? Like, is that your big goal for the year? This year, I want to make sure that whatever's realistic absolutely happens. I want to see everything realistic happen in my life. If that's the case, then that's really sad, okay? We're not here to make realistic happen. We're here to make impossible happen, okay? So if your goals are realistic, they're not good enough. They're not going to stretch you. You see, the point of having a goal is to get yourself out of your comfort zone, is to imagine something bigger. Think about those infomercials. I remember watching P90X infomercials like 4 years ago, back before I even knew what the heck Beachbody was. And I remember watching those infomercials and seeing those dudes with those like super ripped six packs, right? And being like, dude, I want to yes, I want to do that. I want to get back in shape like I was in high school when I played basketball and football and ran track. That would be so incredible to be in that kind of shape. What if they would have shown me someone that was like 15 pounds overweight and could do like 3 push-ups? Would that have inspired me to like go by the program and like work my butt off to get in shape? No. Well, not unless he before was like 100 pounds overweight and couldn't do any push-ups. Then that would be inspiring, right? But there's a reason they show us these like almost impossible looking people, because they want us to see the impossible and get an imagination for what our lives could be like. They don't put subpar in front of us. Subpar never makes us dream. Impossible makes us dream. Now, did I ever get that 6-pack that looked like the dudes on the infomercial? No, I've never once looked like the dudes on the infomercial. But by putting something in front of me like that, it has caused me to push for something better than what I had. It's caused me to stretch beyond my own limitations to do something that I would have never done. If they would have not shown me those pictures, no way in the world I would have done ab ripper X every single day after an hour workout. Has anybody ever done ab ripper X and P90X? Holy freaking crap. That is hard. Dude, you're like, all of your abs are just like hurting and like every single, you know what I mean? Like it's like 12 minutes doesn't sound like very long, but 12 minutes with Tony Horton doing abs, it's insane. No way in the world I would have ever done that if I didn't think that 6-pack could be like my potential body, right? And so we never want to set goals that make us go, okay, I think I can do that. I think I could handle that. We want to set goals that make us go, holy crap. The only way I can make that happen, stay up an hour late. Get up an hour early. Do something I've never done before, right? I wasn't working out no hour a day and then doing a 12-minute ab ripper X before I got into shape. I was willing to do those things to get in that shape and to have that kind of a body or that kind of energy, that kind of confidence really is what it came down to for me. I wanted to feel good again, right? So your business, do not set goals that seem attainable, okay? And I love what Grant Cardone says. It's not about the goal. So many people are scared to set these big, huge goals because then they're like, well, what if I don't hit it? What if I don't hit the goal? Has anyone ever died because they didn't hit a goal? Nope. In fact, I set goals all the time that I don't hit. All the freaking time. The point of the goal is never to actually hit the goal. The point of the goal is to stretch you beyond what you could have done without the goal. So remember that. Set some big freaking goals. On the John Maxwell team, we call them BHAGs. Big, hairy, audacious goal. It should scare the crap out of you. When you say your goal out loud, it should almost make you sick to your stomach. And if it doesn't, you don't have a goal. You're just defining reality. Find something that makes you sick to your stomach because it will push you to do what you've never done before. If this year, if you don't do things beyond what you've ever done before, you're not going to get anything more than what you have now. You may have some slow, steady, continued progress. I don't know about you, but I don't want slow, steady. I want some freaking results, right? I want to go somewhere this year that I've never been before. I want to help more people than I've ever helped before. One of my big goals for 2016, it's kind of scary to say out loud, but once again, that's how it's got to be. One of my big goals, does anybody know who Lewis Howes is? Anybody know who Lewis Howes is? Yep, he has the School of Greatness podcast. One of my goals for this year is for my face to show up on Facebook as often as his does. Every single time.
Josh?
Yo.
Your falling off the bench video has already got 6,000 views, so.
There you go. I'm already there. So I just need to fall off some more benches. But my goal is for my face to show up as often as his does. Why? Because the more times people see my face, the more likely they are to listen to my podcast that Dan is helping me get set up. The more likely they are to download my ebook that Dan also set up for me. Thank you, Dan. I know you're chilling in the background. I love you, Dan. The more
playing video games.
Oh, beautiful. The more likely they are to get in one of my training groups, the more likely they are to get the help they need to build the legacy that they believe in. If I can't get my face all over the place, I can't help as many people. So the goal is twofold. Obviously, there's some type of numeric thing that I'm measuring it by. I want my face plastered everywhere. But it's not just for the sake of having my face up. It's not for the sake of being famous. It's not for the sake of people knowing me. It's for the sake of helping more people. Because there's millions upon millions upon millions of people that are living a life today that is less than what they deserve. They're settling for something less. And I want to give them something bigger. I want to help them to dream bigger than they've ever dreamed before. So the number 2 common problem people have when setting goals is they think like this. Do I really need that kind of success? For instance, maybe some of you already have your bills paid. Maybe some of you already have a comfortable life. Maybe your spouse has a decent job, or, whatever that is. Maybe when you think of that big, hairy, audacious goal, maybe for you, it's like making like $500,000 a year, something crazy like that. And then for a second you stop and go, isn't that kind of selfish of me to want to make that kind of money? Like, do I really need that kind of success? Once again, 10X rule. Gosh, I freaking love Grant Cardone. It is our moral and ethical obligation to have success. Success is our moral and ethical obligation. Why? Because every single one of us has someone in our life, and if we don't now, we will in the future, that needs our success. There is always someone. I have parents that I want to send on vacations. I have a sister that I want to provide a better life for. I have, who knows? I mean, obviously I have kids that I want to provide a better life for. I don't know what my kids are going to need when they grow up. I don't know what their spouses are going to need. I don't know what their kids are going to need. Dude, there are starving people in other countries, and we're trying to excuse ourselves from success because we have plenty. If you think that you have plenty, chances are you haven't looked around the world in a while. I think someone accidentally, there we go, I got him muted. I think I did. Mute audio. I'm trying. Allie, I'm trying to mute you. But I feel like we're doing it at the same time. Here, I'll let you do it, Allie. Are you muting yourself? No. I think she got it muted. Okay. There are people all over the world that have need. There are people everywhere we go. What is going on here? That is like not working. Okay. For as long.
She's not muted, Josh. That's why you're cutting in and out.
I know. I've muted her like 8 times though. Mute audio. And it's like not doing anything. Boom. I hate to do that, but what in the world is going on? It like won't even let me remove. Can you guys even hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, sorry. I had to remove someone because it like wouldn't let me mute them. Hopefully she can hop back on and mute herself. Anyways, if you think that you have too much success, or that there is an amount of too much success, then you've probably forgot about the world around you. And that's the thing, is it's not just about us. It's not just about what you need. It's not just about what your family needs. It's about what the world needs. And you have to remember, there's always going to be, even if you get to the point where you're like, I've created the life that I want. I've created the life that I deserve. I'm happy. Well, guess what? Turn around and help other people get there. There should never, ever, ever be a place where we stop and we're content with just being with where we are. There's an amount of being content that's okay, but not satisfied. We should always, always, always be pushing to help more people. I've gotten to the point now where I'm making enough money that me and my family can settle down and live a comfortable life. But that's not enough for me. I've got too many people in the world that need my help. I want to teach them what I've learned. I want to help them do what I've done. And I want to make more money. And I want to help more people. Money equals resources equals, once again, helping people. It's all about helping people. Never forget that, okay? Number 3 is we don't think we're capable. In your mind, in your heart, you imagine something incredible that you want to do. And you think of this big, huge dream. And then you stop and you think about your talents, about your skills, about your abilities. And you begin to doubt whether or not you're capable of making something like that happen. And so I asked one of my good friends if I could share her story tonight. One of my very first clients that I signed when I first started working with her, she wasn't even doing team calls at the time. She is an incredible person. She loves people to death. She's absolutely amazing. Had built a pretty big team, was making decent money, selling products and helping people, but she was scared to do team calls. She does not like public speaking. And on one of our very first calls, I challenged her to step out, to start doing team calls, to start putting herself out there and not being afraid of it, whether or not she sounded perfect or whether or not she was an incredible public speaker. I challenged her to go for it and to do it, even though she was scared to death. Today, she is a top 10 coach. You may know her as Brittany Powers. You may know her as Fit Mom, Fit Brit on Instagram. She is number 10 in the entire freaking company. When I started working with her, what was that? 7-8 months ago, something like that. I mean, it seems like it's been forever, but if you think about it, it's not really very long. She was rocking it. She was like 37 in the company. She was a 2-star diamond, but she wasn't even doing her own team calls. And I don't say that to belittle Brittany. I asked her permission to share this because I've told her over and over and over how often I use her as an example to tell people, what we think of successful people is a freaking lie. Successful people aren't these people that are born with confidence and just walk out with a big smile on their face and their hair perfectly done and everything in life is perfect. Successful people are people that move forward in spite of their fears, in spite of their weaknesses, in spite of the odds that are stacked against them. When Carl introduced Brittany this Sunday in Orange County as top 10 coach, it was so awesome. I loved being there to see it in person. And something he said was, it is so, so hard for a coach that's only been in the business for a year and a half and only a 7-star diamond to be in the top 10. Because most of the top 10 coaches are like 10-star and up. And so they have these big, huge teams that have been around for quite a while. They have like tons of diamonds under them, which makes their volume skyrocket. And he is like, basically for Brittany to hit top 10, only be in the company a year and a half and a 7-star is just so unlikely. It goes completely against the odds. And I absolutely love Brittany's story because she every single day defies the odds. She's not an outgoing personality. If you meet her in person, she's actually quite the introvert. She doesn't like that word, but she's not good with crowds. She doesn't like the stage. She doesn't like the spotlight. She doesn't like getting attention. That's not her thing. But yet she's number 10 in the company because she cares about people and she wakes up every single day and owns her crap. There is no ideal successful person. We're all just people. We're all just learning every day. We're all just growing every day. We're all just figuring it out every day. There is no one that is incapable of success. Every single one of us is capable of success based on what we're willing to do each day. Another good friend of mine, when she first came to me, was a 3-star diamond. I think at the time she was like number 17 in the company. And she came to me and she said, Josh, here's the deal. I feel like I've gone as far as I can go in my own hard work. I've been rocking it. I hit SC, this person would hit SC 60 and above like every single month. She'd recruit 20 to 30 coaches every single month. But she's like, but I've gotten as far as I can go. Like, I really feel like I've hit my lid and I don't know what to do from here. So we started working on leadership and talking about putting others first and caring more about other people's goals than her own goals. At the time, 80% of her income was based on her commissions, if I remember right, and like 20% of her income was based on her volume, like her team cycle bonus, sorry. After working together for about 6 months and focusing on her leadership and focusing on helping people, it's now got to the point where 50% of her income is based on her commissions, 50% on her team cycle bonus. She has almost flipped the tables. When she came to me, communication was one of her weaknesses. She really struggled with reaching out and communicating with others and listening with others, but she worked so hard at becoming a listener and helping people with their goals. And today, she's a 6-star elite coach. Her name is Alexa Luckenbach. You may know her as Alexa Campbell. She got married basically over the summer, so some people still know her by her old name. But my point is this: everyone's capable of success. If you put in the time, if you put in the effort, and you believe, there is nothing in the world you can't do. So now that hopefully I have you dreaming bigger than you've ever dreamed before, let's talk about becoming intentional about actually making this happen, okay? I want you to think about this for a second. Right now, as we speak, there are satellites flying around in outer space that know where our phone is right now, that actually calculate what time it is based on what time zone I'm in. When I'm flying in an airplane, when I went to California this weekend from Oklahoma, my phone automatically changes time zones while I'm in the freaking air. Now, just think about that for a second. We have sent monkeys to outer space to collect data and samples. We have freaking rocket ships that are going to other planets. Now, nothing is impossible if you take the time to become intentional about coming up with a game plan to make something happen. Humans, we're freaking incredible, man. We're incredible creatures. But here's the thing. Someone had to sit down and calculate all that stuff, right? Someone had to calculate like how much gas it was going to take, how much energy, what kind of an engine they would need. Someone had to sit down and get very specific about what they would need to do to make that happen, okay? We can never, ever, ever leave it up to fate. This is why in October, I got calls from lots of my clients saying, okay, Josh, I have a lot of work I need to do these next 2 months. Man, Mayor, we had to do a lot of work, didn't we? In not very much time. Because many times it's so easy to forget about that. We set a goal in January. Usually by February, we kind of forget about it. And then around October, we remember again, oh crap, I set that goal in January. And now I've got like 2 months to make it happen, which really sucks in Beachbody because qualifying happens on like November 19th. So it's like you don't even have the full year to make it happen, right? And so we have to become intentional and never, ever, ever leave anything up for fate. I hate fate's guts, okay? Some of you are like, whoa, that's kind of harsh, Josh. My youngest son was born with a heart defect. He had 3 open heart surgeries in the first 3 years of his life. I hate fate. I don't believe in fate. You know what I believe in? I believe in people being intentional about making good things happen in life. Now, that's not to say that I don't believe in God, because I 100% believe in God. I just don't believe that God's someone sitting up in heaven waving a magic wand. I believe he's someone that gave every single one of us incredible potential, incredible talent, incredible hearts. And if we tap into those things and we go to work on those things, we can create incredible things. But too many people set these big honky goals and they're like, well, if it happens, it happens. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. No, it's not going to happen unless you decide you're going to become intentional and you're going to make it happen. Stuff doesn't just happen unless it's bad. Good stuff never just happens. How many of you ever went to bed one night and woke up the next morning 15 pounds lighter? Anybody? No? Okay, I didn't think so. Anybody ever go to bed at night and wake up the next morning with a 6-pack? I'm not talking about beer. I'm talking about like your abs. Some people are like, what? Wake up with a 6-pack of beer? That's cool. No, it doesn't happen, okay? You have to become intentional about it. You have to do the work to make it happen, okay? So here's what I want everyone to do. I want you to write down your top goals for the year. Obviously not like right this second, but make a note, okay? I'm going to teach you a little process. I want you to write down the most important goals that you have for this year, okay? That can be a rank advancement. That can be helping others rank advance. That can be an income goal. You might have a health and fitness goal. Whatever that is, write it down. You may have a goal for your family or for a relationship, something like that. Write down all of those goals, okay? Next thing I want you to do is go through each of those goals. And I want you to write down the top 3 things you would need to do to make that goal happen. Okay? So each goal. So if your goal is I want to rank advance to 10-star diamond, what are the 3 things you're going to have to be the most intentional about to make that 10-star diamond goal happen? So your next goal is I want to get my Instagram following to 20,000 followers. Write down the top 3 things you need to do to make that happen. Go through each one of your goals and write down the top 3 things, okay? Then, when you've done all of that, I want you to go through and I want you to look for the common things that you have on those lists. And I want you to tally up. For instance, maybe 3 or 4 times it shows on there, mentor other coaches. Circle it, tally it up, okay? Maybe it's posting more often. Maybe it's connecting with more people. I don't know. Whatever those things are, I want you to go through and tally up how many different times the same answer occurs under different goals. Does that make sense? And then here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the top 3 things that occurred the most frequently underneath all of those goals. And I want you to write that down. That is your new priority list for this year. Those are the 3 things you have to absolutely make sure you do every single day. So for instance, I'll give you just a quick little example. For me, when I went through all the goals, one of the things that I basically showed up under like 3 or 4 of the goals that I had was mastering Facebook ads. So you better believe I'm going to be very intentional about Facebook ads this year. I'm going to have Facebook ads going nonstop. Another thing that I had to do is I have to connect with new people. So I'm making it a goal to connect with new people, making sure that everyone I talk to, finding out, asking this question that John Maxwell always asks people, who do you know that I need to know? And then the third thing that I need to do was expand my training groups beyond just Beachbody so that I can help any and every entrepreneur on the planet who wants to live their dream life. So those are my main 3 focuses for this year. And if I do those 3 things, really all of the goals that I have set will happen if I just do those 3 things. And I bet for every single one of you, if you really look through it, there's about 3 things that if you do these 3 things, they'll pretty much make all of your goals happen. Those are the 3 things you have absolutely got to get intentional about. You've got to focus on those things. You've got to commit right now to making it happen. And I want you to plan it out every single day like you do your power hour. For some of you, maybe the things you need to do is just like an adjustment within your power hour. Maybe for some of you, it's something you need to add on to your power hour. Whatever that is, it's got to go on the calendar, just like your workout does, just like your power hour does. If your power hour is not on the calendar, you need to get it on the calendar, okay? Find your sweet spot. It's something I talked about at Super Sunday this weekend. We make time, like we talked about before the call. We all make time for them yellow fingers, right? Most of you know exactly when you're going to work out every single day. Now, maybe that time changes a little bit if you have like a weird work schedule. But for most of you, even if you have a weird work schedule, you know exactly when that workout has to happen based on before or after work or maybe early in the morning or maybe late at night, whatever that is. You have got to do the same thing with working your business. You have got to get that intentional that you know exactly when that time is and you do not miss it. I want every single one of you to hit your goals, to smash your goals this year. Like at the end, I'm telling you right now, at the end of this year, I know a bunch of people couldn't get on tonight because they had other stuff like team calls and boot camp crap going. But everyone live, everyone watching this recording, I want you to know that this can be the best year you've ever lived, ever. You can make your dreams come true And just as important, you can make other people's dreams come true if you will be intentional. But I want you to remember this. It's not just your dream that's depending on this. There are literally hundreds and thousands and maybe even millions of people's dreams that are depending on whether or not you're intentional about your goals and your plans and your dreams. You say, yeah, but I'm not a top 10, or I'm not a 5-star, or I'm not a 10-star. It doesn't matter. Every one of you has the potential to be that in the next year, maybe the next 2 years, whatever that is. Every single person that you touch then has the power to touch another life. Every single time you help 10 people, those 10 people can duplicate themselves to help 10 more people. Everything you do in this business and in this life always, always, always multiplies to help other people. So please, please, please do me a huge favor. Be intentional this year about making your dreams come true and making other dreams come true. My good friend Alexa just hopped on. You must have just got done with the volume boot camp. Alexa, I'm going to unmute you for a second. How are you, girl?
Okay. I'm good, but you caught me off guard. My husband's watching a movie. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry. I unmuted you like out of nowhere because I saw you hop on.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
So I know you just hopped on.
Yes.
Me and you have talked about this word like crazy. In fact, obviously John Maxwell sparked this word in me first, but when we were talking in December, you're the one that you started talking about intentional, and I just like grabbed onto it and was just like, yes, 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 this is what we have. This is absolutely what we have to do. Okay. So I know I'm totally putting you on the spot with no preparation whatsoever. So I'm letting everyone else know that too. Would you talk to me a little bit about what it means to you to be intentional, about how it has changed the year of 2015 for you, being intentional, getting intentional about your leadership, about mentoring people, and what you're doing this year to be intentional?
Yeah. Wow. Put me on the spot here, Josh.
I know.
No, honestly, you guys, when I first came to Josh about getting started with one-on-one calls, it was around, I think it was in August of 2015. I was that person that was experiencing law number 1, for those of you reading the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. The first law is the law of the lid, which basically means if you're not growing your leadership development, you are basically going to hit a lid, which is 100% what happened to me. I felt like I had just completely hit a lid. I didn't know how to move forward in my business until I started, having these calls and learned how important, developing your leadership skills was so important, especially for me because, the first, majority of last year, I was pushing super hard, with my team to hit top 10. So I was just like recruiting a ton of coaches, and I was pushing for numbers like crazy, boom, 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 just signing people up left and right. I was just, top 5 recruiter in 3 months out of 2015 when I was pushing for top 10. I actually just found that stat out today. I was just adding coaches like crazy, but I didn't know what to do with them. You know what I mean? Like I was struggling. And, along with that, I just found myself, I'm sure a lot of other full-time coaches might be able to relate to this, but, I found myself some days just, not being able to focus and get on track and manage my time and, just get my head out of my ass. Sorry. Like that's just the best way I can put it. And you know what I mean? And just like do what I had to do. And so, a lot of 2015 though was a great year for me and my team. It was a great year because I feel like I learned a lot, because I struggled a lot and I failed a lot last year. And so, when I started this year, I knew that being intentional was one of the biggest things that kind of changed things for me. Like I said, I started focusing more on my leadership skills. I started to focus more on, who it was that I was mentoring versus just signing people up, putting them through my system, and whoever like came out the end and hit Success Club, awesome. That's kind of what I was doing there, to be completely honest with you guys, for a couple months. I wasn't the best leader because I had done no leadership development, and I didn't know what I was doing. And so I wasn't being intentional about any of this stuff. So, anyways, when I started 2016, like I said, I was just so excited at the beginning of this year because, starting 2015, I didn't really know what I was doing. Like I said, wasn't being intentional in any way, just kind of like, pushing hard and like, hitting my numbers, whatever. But for me, it's like night and day different starting this year. I really know exactly who it is that I want to help hit Success Club, who it is that I want to help hit Diamond or 2-star, who it is that wants to push for Elite or Premier or wants to quit their job, or, you know what I mean? I know exactly who those people are. And those are the people that I'm focusing on. And, I'm just being a lot more intentional. I don't know any other word to say it, but I'm being a lot more intentional about who it is that I'm giving my time, who I'm investing my time into. And, that was hard for me for a while because, I felt like, well, I don't want to leave anybody in the dust who, maybe needs my help, but they're not, whatever. But I just learned so much through a lot of like trial and error last year that, it's the truth. You've got to just focus on, that top 20%, those people that want it and that are proving it and that are showing action and results. You can't just like, that's the biggest thing. I've struggled with that. I mean, I still kind of do. Every week when I have my calls with Josh, I tell him a little bit about that, but it's something that I've gotten better at for sure. And, struggling and not being intentional and just trying to help, everybody and just give them all the same amount of time. That made me hit my lid last year. You know what I mean? I don't know what I would have done or where I would have gone if I wasn't able to like move past that. But you know what I mean? It was getting me nowhere. So, being intentional this year, it's my word. It's one of my 3 words. I picked 3 words for myself that are going to be like my theme for 2016, and intentional is one of them. So, yeah. All right. I just went on forever.
Josh, can I like jump in for 1 sec?
Yeah.
Alexa, honestly, like you hit the nail on the head with me because I have been pampering my team's ass. And I'm sorry for swearing.
It's okay.
But I have with like, oh, I know it's hard and I know blah, blah, blah. And like, oh, it's December, it's Christmas. And then I watched a video like you did. I was on your team for the, what are they called? I'm on the spot, so I'm not good at this. Dream board.
Oh yeah.
We did our dream boards and everything, and then like nobody on my team did it. And then I watched it again, and it's just kind of like, okay, we have to be intentional. We have to like, what do we want to do? And you have to set it out. And I just want to tell you that like what your words throughout that thing, like even though we were all like jamming and like listening to our music and stuff, like it's true because I posted a video in my team page and I have like, let's say, I don't know, only 19 people on my team. But 9 of them were like, okay, I want to do this. I'm all in. I'm intentional. I want to make this my business. And that's because you posted that video. So I just want to say, like, that's awesome that you did that. Like, I'm in my bed because I'm East Coast and it's late here, but like it's all in, and I really appreciate like what you did because that one like team call when we were all making our vision boards at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, it really helped. So thank you.
Yay. Well, thank you. That's so good to hear because I actually thought that team call, that was like different from any call we've ever done. I was like, we were just like listening to music and making our vision boards. And I was kind of just like walking people through what I was putting on my vision board. And I was like, is this in my head? I'm like, is this like weird? Do they think that I'm just like, I don't know. It was awesome. Don't know. Well, that's good.
It's great to know like what a top coach does because we all look up to you. Look, I do. And it's nice to know like that you're going through stuff and you're just trying to figure it out too. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, girlfriend. Yeah, it's the truth.
Way cool. Thank you, Lexa. I appreciate it so much. So I'm going to put another person on the spot. So if you get put on the spot tonight, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. My good friend, Mare, which, oh crap, I just pinned you and now I can't unmute you. Can you unmute yourself, Mare?
Hi.
Awesome. How you doing, Mare?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. So, Miss Meredith, I know when we first started working together, you had kind of been like in a little bit of a slump,
Yes.
and then you picked it back up and you went hard,
Yes.
and you ended the year so freaking strong. I was so proud of you for what you were able to pull off. So, talk to us a little bit about, and this isn't like a brag on Josh moment. Like, I just want to hear what happened when you guys became intentional about making your stuff happen and taking, because at the end of the day, the only thing I did was help you guys make a few tweaks and hold you accountable to the stuff you said you were going to do. You guys did it all, not me. So talk to us a little bit about the little bit of a slump that you were in, that you had been in, and then how you became intentional about turning that around and where you're headed this year.
Oh, that's a good one. So when I first got introduced to Josh, it was actually on a team triceps call. And I ended the call in complete tears. And I remember emailing Josh, like hysterical crying, like, I don't know what you just did to me, but I just won't want it. And I signed up like 2 days later for like one-on-ones. Like I just knew, like, I personally, my big goal for 2015 was elite. And what happened along the way, kind of similar to what Alexa realized, was it started out as a numbers game, and then we realized it was just like, you hit this wall, and it's not a numbers game. Like, these are lives, and this is not why I signed up. Yeah, it's a great goal, and it sounds like, Josh, you said it perfectly, that one day you're like, it's being a part of the cool kids club. Like, you know, I lost the reason behind it, which was to help people. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of following what I thought others were doing and what I heard others from, you know, other different crazy places. And I wasn't listening to my team. I wasn't listening to what they needed and what they were struggling with. I was just focused on me.
Yeah.
And I think by having like a outsider, somebody that's not like Beachbody Elite, you know, vision drilled only, to kind of like take you back and be like, well, who is this person? I'm like, what does she want?
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, well, I don't really know. I should probably find that out. I don't know how many hours a day she could commit to this business. I don't know what her dog's name is. Like, those things are important, you know? So knowing, you know, learning about people and bringing it back home was my big game changer. And I didn't even realize that's what I was doing, but it was, you know, the same word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you became intentional about helping people, but I mean, so I want people to hear the kind of work and effort that you put into becoming intentional, though, because it wasn't like one of those things where you're just like, oh, let's just get to know everybody and love on them and let's have like rainbows and butter. I mean, you busted your butt to help those people, right? And,
yeah.
And what happened that last like month of the year?
Oh man, it's like a blur. I don't know. I mean, we would just get on calls, and I mean, I sat on a call with one of my girls for literally 8 hours.
That's awesome.
We ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner together on a Zoom call. Like, I mean, it's more than just investing like your time. And I mean, like, my whole entire being was like present with like my team and my girls that were like on this crazy journey with me.
Right. And was the hard work and effort you put in, was it worth it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It was worth running on 2 hours of sleep some nights.
we knew that was going to happen, right?
Totally worth it. Yeah. You just got to brace yourself for it.
Sometimes that's how goals happen
all year I just kept saying, I will sleep on January 1st, 2016.
Yeah.
I will sleep on New Year's Day.
And that's I'm not like trying to scare people, make people think that they have to work day and night. But the thing was, it was October. You had a goal that you wanted to hit for that year. Yeah. You said, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going all in. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to make this happen. It didn't happen because you wanted it to happen. It didn't happen because you thought it would be a cool thing to happen. It happened because you made it happen, right? Cool. I'm proud of you, Mary. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, okay, I got one more person that I got to call out on the spot. And once again, let's see, unmute. And
Dan
I'm going
thinks
to.
it's gonna be him. I'm trying to tell him it's not.
Dan thinks it's going to be. No, it is my girl, Vicky.
Yeah, I seen my shit come unmuted. I was like, oh.
How you doing, Vicky?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. So Vicky, my girl here, is just incredible. Absolutely amazing. She absolutely just 100% loves people to death. And
The
so
nice ones.
the nice ones. I want you to talk to me a little bit about, because you've been in this business a while now. What, like 3.5, 4 years?
It'll be 4 years on the 27th.
You're like an old timer in this business, right?
Yeah.
But here's what I love about you is you've stayed intentional. You've stayed intentional about the purpose and the mission behind it. You know, I know we talked today on our call about like a specific mission statement, but I feel like you've lived by, maybe you didn't have it in specific words, but you have a specific mission that you've been living by all along, and you've poured out your heart into other people's lives. So talk to me about that and how you've been able, with all, you know, everything that gets waved in front of you every day, with you know, sometimes goals happen, sometimes they don't, but you've stayed true and faithful to what you believe in your heart. Talk to me about that a little.
You are a butthead because you're going to make me cry. And you didn't even warn me. I could have had a beer, like, cussing myself. Thanks a lot. Shit, man. Sorry. Well, so I know what it's like to feel at your lowest. I used to weigh 268 pounds, and I was struggling in debt more than I could see straight. Like, I couldn't pay for groceries and buy diapers for my baby at the same time. Like, I was at the lowest point in my life, and I'm like shaking right now. So knowing that I can transform my life with just the hope and the love and the support that I've had through Beachbody and through my friends and family and stuff, I want to give that to other people and show them that they could change their life and they can get out of that slump no matter where they are. Maybe it's depression, maybe it's debt, maybe it's struggling in an abusive relationship, or, you know, maybe they're at their lowest point with their weight or their health. And so when me and Josh talked today, I was talking about, like, part of my mission statement is leading with love. Everything I've ever done for my team, for my coaches, for my challengers, for myself, for my business, it's always been love. Love was always involved because I'm not a pusher. I'm not a tough love. I have 3 coaches on here. You could ask them how good I am at tough love. They'll laugh in your face. Like, right. I can make you cry better than I could give you tough love. That's how good I am. But so, like, I've always shared, like, don't be a pusher. Don't go out there and, like, jam challenge packs or coaching opportunity, but talk about the things that you love, things that make you love coaching, things that make you love Shakeology, 21 Day Fix, our team, whatever it is. And with love, you can light that fire in someone's belly that never burns out, because we all know what it's like to have that fire and then it gets burned out because, you know, life hits us in the back of the head, or there's excuses over here that keep piling up or whatever, and that fire dwindles down. But when you have something so much that you're so passionate about, you keep moving forward, whether or not you hit those stupid goals or not. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you keep moving forward because you have a vision, you have a mission, you have intentions that you are going to get to where you're going to go, and there's nothing going to stop you.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what you wanted me to say.
No, I love it. That's what no, there's no right or wrong. This is what you are intentional about, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's what makes you who you are, and I appreciate it.
I'm intentional with making my coaches cry. That's what I do.
So, and this is what I love about Vicky is she just stays true to herself, and that's what I want to close with, because I know I talked about pushing for big numbers and pushing for big dreams, and I want everyone to remember this. I want you to remember this, that it's not about pushing for the goal and number that everyone else says you should have, okay? It's about pushing for the goal and the number that you want to have. I'm not telling you what to have. Like, it's not my job to say whether you should go for top 10 or 15 star, or I don't, like, that's up to you. You've got to define what it is you want with your life. And then you've got to chase that goal and that dream, that thing that you believe in. You've got to chase it with all your heart. And if you adopt someone else's goal, if you adopt someone else's dream, you're not going to chase it with all your heart. You're going to chase it until you fall on your face, and then you're going to find yourself laying on your face for a really long time because it's not worth getting up for someone else's goal or someone else's dream. So I want you to decide in your heart what you want. Maybe for some of you, 5-star, 10-star, maybe that stuff doesn't matter. Maybe what matters to you is quitting your job. Maybe what matters to you is retiring your spouse. Maybe what matters to you is going on the vacation of your dreams. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't need to be my dream. It needs to be your dream. And that's why my mission statement is this. I want to equip and empower people to live out their legacy. Not push my legacy on others. Not try to convince others to be a part of my legacy, but to equip and empower others to live out their legacy. So when you sit tonight, I want everyone to take some time tonight or tomorrow morning, whichever. I know it's, getting late on the East Coast, whatever. Take some time in the next day. And I want you to think, what is the goal that scares the crap out of you? That's in your heart. Not the one that's in your head, okay? Not the one that other people have tried to put in your, because we all have different hearts, I have some clients that are pushing for 10. That's what's on their heart. I have some clients that are pushing for 15-star. That's what's on their heart. You find what's on your heart. And I want you to become intentional about making it happen this year. Don't let your head or anyone else's head talk you out of what's on your heart. Carl Deichler spoke in Orange County this Sunday. Such an incredible thing to see him in person. And he talked about the heart and the head. We all have something in our heart that we believe in. But our head is always trying to talk us out of it. Our head is always trying to tell us we don't have what it takes. Our head is always trying to come up with excuses, trying to talk us back and forth. But if we just stop and listen to our heart will always say yes. Go for it. Do it. Make it happen. And I want you to hear this in January, because I'm telling you right now, come February, your heads are going to be spinning. Your heads are going to be saying, I can't do it. Your heads are going to be saying, it's too hard. Your heads are going to say, it's impossible. Please remember these words. Take the time, stop, and listen to your heart. Because your heart will always tell you to keep pushing, to keep moving forward, to keep making your dreams come true and help other people make their dreams come true. So thank you guys so much for being on tonight. I appreciate it so much. Let's take a picture together real quick, okay?
Thank you so much, Josh.
You're welcome, Fee. Of course.
Thanks, Josh.
You're welcome. All right, everybody ready for that picture? Oh, go down a little bit more. All right, 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Let's stop this.